Once upon a time, in the dawn of creation, God crafted a paradise known as the Garden of Eden. It was a place of unparalleled beauty, where lush trees bore fruit in abundance, crystal clear rivers flowed, and every creature lived in harmony. The air was filled with the fragrance of blooming flowers, and the gentle rustling of leaves whispered secrets of serenity. In the heart of this paradise, God formed the first man, Adam, from the dust of the earth. He breathed life into him, and Adam became a living soul. God placed Adam in the Garden of Eden, entrusting him with its care and granting him dominion over all living things. Yet, despite the abundance around him, Adam felt a deep longing, a yearning for companionship. Seeing this, God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. While he slept, God took one of Adam's ribs and fashioned it into a woman. When Adam awoke and saw her, his heart filled with joy. He called her Eve, for she was the mother of all living. Together, Adam and Eve lived in perfect harmony, tending the garden and enjoying the fruits of their labor. In the midst of Eden stood two special trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God gave Adam and Eve one commandment. They were free to eat from any tree in the garden, but they must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for on the day they did, they would surely die. For a time, Adam and Eve lived happily, obeying God's command and enjoying the paradise He had given them. But one day, the serpent, the craftiest of all creatures, approached Eve. With cunning words, it asked, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" Eve replied, "We may eat from the trees in the garden, but God did say, you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it, or you will die." The serpent, with a sly smile, said, "You will not surely die, for God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Eve, tempted by the serpent's words and the sight of the tree's fruit, which looked delicious and desirable for gaining wisdom, reached out and took a bite. She then gave some to Adam, who was with her, and he too ate. Immediately, their eyes were opened, and they realized they were naked. In their newfound knowledge, they sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. When they heard the sound of God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, they hid among the trees. God called out to Adam, "Where are you?" Adam replied, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." "Who told you that you were naked?" God asked. "Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam pointed to Eve and said, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree, and I ate it." Then God asked Eve, "What is this you have done?" Eve replied, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." God's heart was heavy with sorrow, for he knew that sin had entered the world. He pronounced judgment upon the serpent, cursing it to crawl on its belly and eat dust all the days of its life. To Eve, he said that she would experience pain in childbirth, and her desire would be for her husband, who would rule over her. To Adam, he declared that the ground would be cursed because of him, and through painful toil, he would eat from it all the days of his life until he returned to the dust from which he was made. God then made garments of skin for Adam and Eve to clothe them, showing his mercy even in their disobedience. But because they had eaten from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, they could no longer remain in the Garden of Eden, lest they also eat from the tree of life and live forever in their fallen state. So God banished Adam and Eve from the garden and placed cherubim and a flaming sword that turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. Thus, Adam and Eve began their journey outside of Eden, in a world where they would experience both joy and sorrow, life and death, but always carrying with them the hope of redemption. Please drop your comment, follow, like, and share to support our channel. Thanks.